All right, everyone, welcome back. It is Carrie here. This is our first part of serving your family in the kitchen. What I want to show you today is meal planning. That's what we're going to go over in this portion of the video. So what is meal planning exactly? Well, in the nutrition world, meal planning means proper planning prevents poor performance. So when we have a plan in place in the kitchen and for our family, we're less likely to veer off and alternate with options like fast food, binge eating, not eating at all throughout the day due to busy schedules, or spending unneeded time deciding on what to eat, disagreements for what's for dinner. I know we have that in our house sometimes, and just eating out of convenience. All of these can be avoided with proper planning. So meal plans for the week is essential in our home. We're not running to the store constantly because we have our list. We know what we're going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we're not always running to the store. So that's a big time saver. It's a huge money saver because when we run to the store, most of the time we're not there to just pick up that cheese that we missed or a gallon of milk. We're gonna go through the aisles. We might see what's on sale and think, oh, ice cream sounds good tonight, or that chocolate bar looks amazing. So when we have our plan in place and we stick to that plan and we only grocery shop when we need to, we're less likely to spend more money on groceries. So all of these can be avoided with proper planning. You want to use up the food that you already have, and everyone knows what you're having for the week. So here's my steps that I put in place in our home for success. Step number 1, when I go to do my grocery list, and we go grocery shopping on payday, so it's every other Friday, I see what I have in my pantry, I see what I have in my freezer and my fridge. What is left over from the week before grocery shopping? I write those down and I try to find or think of meals to correlate with those foods. For example, I might have 4 cans of diced tomatoes down there. What can I do with these diced tomatoes? Maybe make chili. Maybe I have some ground beef in the freezer as well. So all I need to pick up is beef broth. So I do things like that, and that is step 1. So I always scan the pantry, scan the fridge, and scan the freezer for what I already have on hand and come up with meals for that. Step 2, I write out Monday through Sunday on a sheet of paper. I'm very pen to paper, and I know there are apps out there, cute chalkboards, that you can hang up, anything like that to make this easier. But whatever you prefer, I am a pen to paper girl, so I write out Monday through Sunday, and I look at my calendar. This is key because we don't want to plan something super extravagant, that takes a lot of time to plan and prep on a night that we might be home at 8 o'clock from basketball practice. I might want to plan a crock pot meal for that night that I know we're going to be busy. So I always want to have my calendar with me when I do my meal planning, whenever I think of my meals. You also want to utilize a leftover night. There's probably going to be leftovers a couple of nights a week. I always just put those in containers and I'll write Thursday. Usually Thursdays are pretty busy for us because we have a lot going on with social events and basketball practices. So I write leftover night. And that way all the leftovers from the week can be utilized on that night. I also then, step number 3 is I write out snacks for the week. So I don't know about you with kids at home, but everyone is always wanting a snack. So I limit my snacks to 2 different kinds every 2 weeks. So one week might be rice cakes with nut butter and a half a banana. The other week might be apples and a cheese stick and hard-boiled egg. These are your 2 options for your snacks, kiddos. Which one do you want? They know what's gonna happen, so we're not making lots of snacks. And with 5 kids, making 5 different snacks could be a 45-minute process. So I also want to buy what I need for those snacks. So it makes everything a lot more organized and happy. And with the snacks, I tend to ask the kids what they like too. So kids, what do you want for your snacks this week? Name a couple of options and I'll say yes or I'll say no. So I like to let the kids pick too. That goes for the dinners as well. So I always ask my family, like Wednesday or Thursday night at dinner, what are you guys looking for the next couple weeks? Does anything sound good? And I'll jot it down on my list. When I come up with my meals and I come up with my snacks, I then add all of these ingredients to my grocery list. This is what I use for my grocery list. I told you I'm a simple pen to paper girl. It's on the refrigerator. That way when we run out of something, I can quickly jot it down. Coconut oil, check. Peanut butter, check. And then I can also bring it to the table with me if kids are saying, or husbands are saying, what they want for dinner, what they want for snacks, what they want for lunches. I can quickly jot down all of the ingredients. And honestly, that's kind of what I do for my meal planning too. So my grocery list might be on one side, I flip it over, and my meals are on the next. Super simple. Everything's on one sheet of paper. Again, you can do what works best for you and your family. If you love pretty nice things, I have a PDF I can share with you to print out for meal planning and meal prepping. That's totally up to you. So when you add these ingredients to your shopping list, be sure to include the staples in your home. Now, what is a staple in your home? Well, for us, oats, almond milk, eggs, things that you buy every single week would be a staple ingredient in your home. So I always add these to my list first, and then I go through and add my ingredients to the meals I'm going to make. It just kind of makes everything really, really much simpler. Now that you have a meal plan in place, get creative. Like I said, you can buy a chalkboard for your wall. Anything that's going to be fits your personality and is going to work for you and your family. Sometimes I like to get the meals organized, and then I let the kids pick out what day we're going to have what. Like I said, always utilize a leftover night. Ask for opinions. You can even go on Amazon. They would have tons of meal planners that you can use for your kitchen. Again, another tip is going to be always look at your schedule. So when you're planning your meals, have your calendar with you. You don't want to use, like I said before, you don't want to overcomplicate a meal on a busy night, but you also don't want to have a leftover night when you're not really doing much that evening. So really be smart with the meal choices that you make. Utilize your crock pot, utilize your air fryer, utilize leftovers. Go on Pinterest, see the recipes that are out there that have ingredients that you have in your home. I guarantee you, if you have something funky and crazy in your cupboard that you just have, like one more portion left, type it into Pinterest. It'll give you a whole slew of recipes to use for it. I also love to consider a healthy plate when I'm planning my meals. So this would include a fruit, vegetables, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. So when I develop my meals, I like to have all of those yummy ingredients in there. Those are my suggestions for meal planning. Step number 1, see what's around. See what's around you. What's in your pantry, what's in your freezer, what's in your fridge that you can use up. Step number 2, start writing out your ingredients for snacks, for meals. Write those down. So write down your meals, write down your snacks, and then you want to utilize that grocery list. So write down the ingredients that you're going to need for all of the meals, for all of the snacks, and any staple ingredients that you use every single week. Because I don't know about you, but we buy things every week. Eggs, oats, almond milk, things like that. And when I'm at the store with 5 kids, it's going to leave my mind. If it's not on my list, I tell my husband and kids this all the time. If it's not on my list, it's probably not going to come home. So write it on the list. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you got a lot out of this segment. We're going to move on to grocery shopping and meal prepping next. Bye-bye.